For Project 1, you've been given a topic and asked to find 3 GIS-enabled websites that have a map display on it. A GIS-enabled website is one that allows interaction with the map and the data. The extent of the interaction may be something as simple as the ability to zoom in, zoom out, or pan around the map. More complex GIS tools may allow you to query data, to isolate or select data with specific criteria, control different layers, for example, turning layers on and off or controlling the layer transparency. They may provide you the ability to download or export data, the ability to draw on the map to select features or areas of interest. A website that has an image of a GIS map or displays a map created from a GIS program in the form of a PDF is not what you're looking for. You will record information for each of the websites you find for your topic on your answer sheet. Some of the items you're required to include for the project are items that you can cut and paste. For example, questions 1 and 2 can be cut and pasted from information provided directly on the website. While the URL and the organization that maintains the site are easy to find, the mission of the organization, question number 3, may not be obvious or highlighted on the home page. Many websites will have menus or internal links to navigate their web page that provide detailed information. Look for menus titled About, Who We Are, or What We Do, or something similar that will provide information about the organization's mission so that you can answer the question on your answer sheet. Furthermore, finding any disclaimer they provide, for example, question number 6, or information regarding the accuracy of their data or methodology, question number 7, may not be readily apparent. You'll need to search the website and dig into the information beyond the home page to find the information that you need to use to answer some of these questions. Let's look at some examples of GIS-enabled websites. The Anti-Defamation League has some very good interactive GIS maps throughout their website. One example is their heat map. The heat map, which stands for hate, extremism, anti-Semitism, and terrorism, you'll see the interactive map dominates the middle of the page. Hovering over the map, you can zoom in and zoom out by either rolling your mouse wheel forward or backward, or by using the zoom controls in the upper left-hand corner of the map. Beyond the ability to zoom in and zoom out, there are other GIS functions available. If you hover your mouse over a state or circular symbol, you'll see that information will pop up that provides details on the location, number, and type of incidents that have been recorded. You'll also see the information regarding the incidents below the map, which also provides additional information and detail. Above the map, you'll notice that you have the ability, using drop-down menus, to select a specific state or city, select a specific incident type, focus on a specific ideology, select a specific time frame, as well as download the selected data. Using these drop-down menus, you can isolate and segregate specific types of incidents from the overall dataset. When you download the data and examine the data table, or examine the data table below the map, you'll see that additional information is provided that may include specific descriptions of the events, who was involved, etc. Another example on the ADL site is an interactive map of hate crime laws and hate crime data. Looking at the hate crime laws map, hovering over a particular state brings a pop-up that breaks down whether or not hate crime laws have been passed in that state for specific populations. The information is also available in a data table below the map, along with links to the penalties for the specific crimes that are addressed. Like the heat map, you have drop-down menus located above the map that allow you to select a specific state or a specific protected category. This ability is also provided in the table below the map. Clicking the Hate Crime Data tab above the map changes the map to show the cities with populations greater than 100,000 that have reported hate crimes. For this map, you have the ability to control the time frame that is shown by using the slider bar above the map. Another example of a GIS-enabled map can be found on the SkyTruth website. From the Toolbox menu at the top of their web page, you can access some interactive maps for the topics they cover. One example is their mountaintop mining map, which shows information about active mountain-type mining sites throughout the United States. Looking at the web page on the left-hand side, you will immediately see that you have the ability to control different layers that appear for different years by checking the boxes next to the year. You can turn the labels on and off, as well as turn a composite aerial image on for the map. You can also play an animation of the years that you have selected so that you can see an evolution or time series change of the areas that are experiencing mountaintop mining. Below the menus of interactive choices in the Table of Contents frame, you'll notice that there are two information links provided. The first one provides information about how the map was created and what data was used, while the second information link provides directions on how to use the map. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll notice that you can zoom in or zoom out using the plus and minus signs instead of using your mouse. Below the zoom function, you'll notice that there is a pentagon and a square that provide you the ability to select areas on the screen, which, when used, will provide a pop-up that highlights the area in acreage and the percent of the area that is being mined for each of the individual years. Below these selection icons, you have the ability to edit the data that you've selected. You can either save the data, or you can cancel or delete your selection. A third example of a GIS-enabled website is FlightAware, a website that provides information about air traffic throughout the world. Opening the FlightAware map, you will see a real-time representation of air traffic moving throughout the globe. Hovering over any aircraft will provide information on the screen showing the aircraft's altitude, the airport that the flight originated from, and its destination, along with its arrival time. Clicking on an aircraft will open up a web page that will give you additional information showing you the airline, the plane's current condition as well as its expected arrival, and information about where the flight departed, where the flight is headed, and its total travel time. Scrolling down the page, you'll see that the flight path of the aircraft as well as a chart showing its altitude and speed as it has traveled throughout its flight. Scrolling further down the page, you'll see an in-depth table of where the flight has traveled on previous days. The web page will also very often have pictures of the aircraft, as well as information about what type of aircraft it is and what company built it. Now let's look at some examples of maps created with GIS software, but are not GIS enabled. For example, on the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization page, you can find numerous links to maps covering a variety of topics. However, clicking on these links opens up an image of the map that has no functionality whatsoever. It's just an image of a map. Another series of examples of this type of resource can be found on the Boston Planning and Development Agency webpage. Here, you'll see a series of maps depicting U.S. Census and demographic data for the Boston area that are part of the Boston Maps Demographic Atlas. Clicking on any of the interactive maps only pulls up a PDF of the map, which has no interactive capabilities.